Have you ever wondered why some people seem to attract money and opportunities like a magnet, while others struggle all the time? What if I told you that for Geminis, the year 2025 will be a turning point, a time when wealth will knock on your door in ways you can't even imagine? Well, my dear Gemini, I'm here today to show you 11 concrete proofs that your prosperity is coming, and coming strong. Look, I know you've been through tough times. I know you've wondered when your turn to prosper would come, when money would flow more easily, when you would achieve that financial stability you so desire. And the truth is, 2025 is no ordinary year for you. The stars are aligning in a way that hasn't happened in years, and this will completely transform your relationship with money, work, and abundance. But here's the key point. If you don't understand these 11 signs and don't know how to take advantage of each one, you might miss these opportunities. And look, I don't want that to happen to you. You deserve to prosper. You deserve to reap the rewards of your effort and your vibrant, communicative essence. That's why I'm going to show you each sign, each piece of evidence that wealth is manifesting in your life right now, and how you can further enhance this energy. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly what to expect in the coming months, and how to prepare to receive everything the universe has in store for you. So stay with me until the end, because each of these tests will make you see your future in a completely new way. First test. Communication as a gateway to money. The first sign that wealth is coming your way, Gemini, is directly linked to your greatest gift, communication. You were born with the ability to express yourself, to connect with people, to transmit ideas clearly and engagingly. And in 2025, this talent will become your greatest source of income. You know that saying, out of sight, out of mind? Well, for you, that has never been more true. The universe is creating situations where your voice, your ability to dialogue and share knowledge will open doors that seemed locked. It could be through a new job where you will lead presentations and important meetings. It could be through a side project where you will teach, advise, or mentor others. It could even be through social media, where your opinion and your content will begin to gain visibility and generate financial opportunities. What's happening behind the scenes in the spiritual world is fascinating. The planets that govern communication and money are forming harmonious aspects with your sign. This means that every word you speak, every idea you share, every conversation you have could be the beginning of something profitable. But be warned, I'm not talking about aimless chatter. I'm talking about using your communication strategically, about realizing that the people around you need what you have to offer. Have you ever noticed how often people come to you for advice, to clear up doubts, to better understand a situation? That's no coincidence. It's because you have the gift of simplifying the complicated, of making light what seems heavy. And in 2025, that gift will literally pay your bills and much more. Think about it. How many times have you helped someone for free, without expecting anything in return? How many times have you explained something, solved a communication problem, connected two people who needed each other? Now imagine if you started to value this talent, to understand that it has real market value. Companies pay fortunes for people who know how to communicate well. Entire projects depend on who can convey the right message at the right time. So the first proof is right here in front of you. Your words are worth gold. Your ability to articulate thoughts, to negotiate, to convince, to inspire, all of this will translate into money in your pocket. But you need to believe in it. You need to start positioning yourself as someone who has valuable knowledge to share. Whether through courses, consulting, lectures, online content, or simply being indispensable in your current job. The universe is giving you this proof now. You will realize that opportunities to speak, to write, to express yourself will increase. And each of these opportunities brings with it the possibility of profit. Don't ignore invitations. Don't underestimate a casual conversation that could turn into a business partnership. Be attentive because wealth is coming through your communication skills, and this is just the beginning. Second, test versatility by opening multiple sources of income. The second proof that wealth is manifesting in your life in 2025 has everything to do with your versatile nature. You're not one of those people who likes to be stuck in a single activity, are you? Your brain works at high speed, always wanting to learn new things, explore different areas, and experiment with possibilities. And that's exactly what will make you prosper. The traditional model of having only one source of income is becoming outdated for many people, but for you, Gemini, it has always been limiting. You need variety, you need different stimuli, you need to feel that you are growing in several directions at the same time. And 2025 will give you the opportunity to have multiple sources of income without burning out, without getting lost, without becoming overwhelmed. Look how interesting. While other signs might feel confused trying to do several things at once, you thrive in this environment. Your quick mind can manage different projects, different clients, different activities without losing quality. And the universe knows this. That's why it's preparing a scenario where you can use all this versatility to your advantage. You might start receiving offers for freelance work while keeping your regular job. You might discover a hobby that could turn into a lucrative business. A skill you develop just for fun might become an extra source of income. The important thing is to understand that you don't have to choose just one path. In fact, the more paths you take, the richer you will become. But let's take it easy here. I'm not saying you should go out and do 1,000 things without a plan. What I'm saying is that your ability to adapt, to learn quickly, to move between different areas is a valuable asset. And in 2025, this asset will be recognized and financially rewarded. Have you ever stopped to think about how many things you know how to do? How many skills you've accumulated throughout your life? From that course you took years ago to the knowledge you gained by talking to different people, all of that is capital. Intellectual capital that can be converted into real money. Proof of this will become apparent when you start to notice that people are contacting you for different things. One day it's to help with a text, the next day it's to give an opinion on a project, then it's to connect two people. Each of these interactions can become an opportunity to earn money. And the best part, you won't get bored because each day will be different. So pay attention to the signs. If an opportunity arises that has nothing to do with what you currently do, don't dismiss it immediately. Analyze whether it's something you can do, whether it's something that interests you even minimally, and if the answer is yes, go for it. Because the second proof lies precisely in this. Your wealth will come from different places, from varied sources, and this will give you much greater financial security than depending on a single source of money. Third test. Social connections generating golden opportunities. The third sign that prosperity is knocking on your door is one of the most powerful for your sign. Your social connections. Geminis love people, love to talk, love to meet new people and keep in touch with old ones. And in 2025, this network of relationships that you have built over the years will turn into a real gold mine. You know that saying, it's not what you know but who you know? Well, that's going to make perfect sense to you in the coming months. The most lucrative opportunities won't come from job postings or formal recruitment processes. They'll come from referrals, casual conversations, or someone who remembered you at the right time. And this happens because you have a natural gift for creating genuine connections. You're not one of those people who pretends to be interested in others just to get something. You genuinely enjoy talking, finding out how people are doing, understanding what they do and how they think. And this true interest creates lasting bonds that eventually turn into opportunities. In 2025, you'll notice that people from your past will reappear with interesting proposals. That old coworker who's now in a leadership position and remembers your potential. That friend who started a business and needs someone trustworthy to help. That acquaintance who's building a team and immediately thinks of you. But this won't happen by magic. It will happen because you invested time and energy in building genuine relationships. Because you were the person who called to ask how the other person was doing. Because you were generous, helpful, and present. And now the universe is returning all of that, multiplied. So here's a very valuable piece of advice. Don't lose touch with people. Don't let the rush of life distance you from those who have been part of your journey. Send a message, make a call, schedule a coffee. It doesn't have to be anything formal or forced. Be genuine as you always have been. Because every conversation can be the beginning of a great opportunity. And there's more. You'll meet new people who will open doors you didn't even know existed. It could be at a casual event, a party, or a get-together with friends. Suddenly you're talking to someone and you discover that this person works in a field that interests you, or you meet someone who is looking for exactly what you offer. The third proof lies in these synchronicities, in these encounters that seem casual, but are actually orchestrated by the universe to put you on the path to prosperity. So keep an open mind. Talk to different people. Frequent new environments. Say yes to that invitation you were thinking of refusing, because you never know where the next great opportunity lies. And when opportunity comes through someone, remember to be grateful. Recognize the value of that connection. Because wealth doesn't just come from the money you earn, but also from the people who are by your side supporting you, guiding you, opening doors for you. And you, Gemini, have a network of people who believe in you. Now it's time to reap the rewards. Before I continue showing you other proofs that your wealth is on its way, I need to make a special request. If you are enjoying this content, if these messages are resonating with you, then subscribe to the channel now and activate the notification bell. That way you won't miss any videos and you'll continue receiving these positive energies and this knowledge that can transform your life. And please leave a comment below telling me where you're watching from. I love knowing that this message is reaching people in different places, each with their own story, but all united in the pursuit of a better and more prosperous life. And if these words have truly touched your heart, consider becoming a subscriber to the channel. Your support makes all the difference and helps me continue bringing this content to you. Now let's continue discovering the other proofs of your prosperity. Fourth test: mental creativity in solving complex problems. The fourth sign that wealth is manifesting in your life lies in your brilliant and creative mind. Geminis have an incredible ability to think outside the box, to find solutions where others only see problems, to connect seemingly distant dots and create something new and valuable. And in 2025, this mental creativity will be extremely valued and rewarded. We live in a world full of complex challenges. Companies are looking for people who can solve problems innovatively. Customers want creative solutions to their needs. And that's exactly what you have to offer. Your mind doesn't work in a linear and predictable way. You can take a complicated problem and unravel it in a way that no one had thought of before. This is invaluable. And finally, people will realize how much you're worth. They might call you to participate in important projects precisely because they need someone who thinks differently. They might offer you a prominent position because they recognize that you have innovative ideas. They might even decide to start your own business and create something unique that the market was waiting for without knowing it. What differentiates Gemini's creativity from that of other signs is its speed and practicality. You don't just stay in the realm of ideas. You can transform thought into action. You can take an abstract concept and make it real, applicable, functional. And that's rare. Many people have ideas, but few know how to execute them efficiently. In 2025, you'll realize that the best financial opportunities will come precisely from situations where you need to use your creativity to solve something. It could be a difficult client that no one could satisfy, but you found a perfect solution. It could be a rigid work process that you optimized in a brilliant way. It could be a business idea that popped into your head in the middle of the night and that you decided to bring to life. And you know what's best? You don't need to be an expert in a specific area to do this. In fact, often your best solutions come precisely from knowing a little about many different things. You take a technique from one area, mix it with knowledge from another, add your unique perspective, and voila! Something innovative and profitable is born. But here's an important warning. Don't underestimate your ideas. Often you have brilliant insights and let them pass because you think they're too obvious that anyone would think of them. But that's not true. What's obvious to you might be revolutionary for others. So write down your ideas, share your insights, propose your solutions. Don't be afraid of being called crazy or exaggerated. The proof that your creativity will generate wealth will appear when you start receiving recognition for your ideas. It could be praise from your boss, a financial bonus, a promotion, a new client who chose you precisely because you presented a different approach. Every time this happens, it's the universe confirming that you're on the right track. So don't block your creativity with limiting thoughts. Don't let the fear of making mistakes stop you from proposing something new. Because in 2025, precisely the boldest, most different, most creative ideas will be the ones that bring the greatest financial returns. And you have an infinite reservoir of ideas waiting to be explored. Use it, value it, and watch wealth flow as a natural consequence of your talent. Fifth test: adaptability to market changes. The fifth sign that prosperity is coming your way, dear Gemini, lies in your extraordinary ability to adapt to change. The world is constantly transforming. The job market changes. Technologies evolve. People's needs transform. And while many people are lost and frightened by all this, you thrive precisely in this environment of change. You're not afraid of the new. In fact, you get bored with routine. When everything is too stable and predictable, you start to feel restless, seeking novelty, wanting to try different things. And this characteristic, which sometimes made you seem fickle in the eyes of others, will now be your greatest asset in accumulating wealth. In 2025, Financial opportunities will arise precisely during times of transition. When a company is undergoing changes and needs someone who can adapt quickly. When an entire sector is transforming and whoever arrives first will have the advantage. When a new technology emerges and whoever learns it quickly will be ahead of the competition. And you learn quickly. Your agile mind absorbs information easily. You don't get stuck in old methods out of stubbornness or nostalgia. If there's a new way of doing something that's more efficient, you adopt it without thinking twice. And that's extremely valuable in a world that's changing faster and faster. Think about it. How many people do you know who still resist using new tools, who complain about change, who prefer to continue doing everything the way they always have? These people are falling behind. Meanwhile, you are always a few steps ahead, already exploring new things, already understanding how things work, already positioning yourself to take advantage of the opportunities that arise. The proof of this will appear when you are chosen for important projects precisely because you can handle uncertainty. When you are offered opportunities that others refuse for fear of the unknown. When you are sought after by innovative companies that need people who are not afraid to experiment. And there's another fundamental point. You don't get too attached to anything. If something isn't working, you change it. If a strategy isn't yielding results, you test another. You don't waste time trying to salvage what's already failed. And this mental flexibility is invaluable. Many people lose money and opportunities because they insist on things that should have been abandoned long ago. So in 2025, when changes arise in your professional or financial life, don't panic. Don't resist. Understand that each change is a door opening to something better. You may need to change fields. You may need to learn a new skill. A project you invested so much energy in may not work out and you may need to start over. That's okay. You know how to do this better than anyone. The fifth proof lies in this dance with change. The more flexible you are, the more willing you are to adapt, the richer you will become. Because the greatest fortunes are made by those who can see trends before others, by those who can position themselves in the right places at the right time, by those who are not afraid to let go of the old to embrace the new. And you have all of that within you. Now it's time to use these qualities to build the abundance you deserve. Sixth test. Keen intuition to identify good opportunities. The sixth sign that wealth is manifesting in your life in 2025 has to do with something that not every Gemini realizes they have. A powerful intuition for identifying good opportunities. You may think you act more on reason than on intuition, but the truth is that your quick mind processes so much information simultaneously that you end up having insights that seem to come out of nowhere. Do you know that feeling when something is a good idea, even if you can't exactly explain why? Or that hunch that a certain person is going to be important in your life. Or that sudden certainty that you should follow a certain path. That's your intuition speaking. And in 2025, it will speak louder and louder, guiding you towards the most lucrative opportunities. The problem is that you often ignore these signs. You over-rationalize, over-question, and overanalyze until your intuition loses its power. And then the opportunity passes you by. But now you need to learn to balance your rational side with your intuitive side. Because both are important. Reason helps you assess risks and make sensible decisions. But intuition shows you paths that logic alone would never find. In 2025, you'll start to realize that your best financial decisions were the ones where you followed your intuition. That investment that seemed risky on paper but you felt you should make. That job opportunity that didn't look so good on your resume but you had a positive feeling. That casual conversation you decided to delve into because something told you it was worthwhile. And do you know why your intuition is so sharp right now? Because the universe is constantly sending you signals. It's showing you the path to prosperity through coincidences, synchronicities, unexpected encounters, and sudden thoughts. But you need to be attentive. You need to silence the mental noise that sometimes distracts you. You need to create moments of quiet where you can hear your inner voice. Proof of this will appear when you make a decision based on intuition and it proves to be correct. When you choose a project following your gut feeling and it turns out to be very profitable. When you trust someone because you had a good impression of them and that person opens important doors for you. Every time this happens, your confidence in your intuition will grow. But there's an important detail. Intuition is not impulse. Impulse is when you act without thinking, driven by momentary emotions. Intuition is that quiet certainty that persists even when you stop to reflect. It's that feeling that doesn't leave you, that keeps nudging you until you pay attention. So start paying more attention to your hunches. When you have an insight about a business opportunity, write it down. When you feel you should contact someone, do it. When you have a sudden idea about how to solve a problem, try it. Don't let the voice of doubt drown out the voice of intuition. And there's more. Your intuition will also protect you from pitfalls. You'll sense when something isn't right, even if on the surface it seems like a great opportunity. You'll get that nervous feeling, that sense of unease. And it's important to heed these warnings as well. Because just as important as seizing good opportunities is knowing how to avoid bad ones. The sixth proof lies in this growing connection with your inner wisdom. The more you trust it, the more you follow your insights, the more aligned you will be with the flow of abundance. The universe is communicating with you all the time. Now is the time to learn its language and let it guide you to the wealth that is destined for you. Seventh test. Ability to negotiate and persuade. The seventh proof that prosperity will manifest in your life in 2025 lies in a skill you possess but perhaps don't value enough. Your ability to negotiate and persuade. You have a way with words, a lightness in communication that makes people feel comfortable and trust you. And that is an invaluable asset when it comes to making money. Think about it. Almost everything in life involves some kind of negotiation. You negotiate your salary. You negotiate the price of a service. You negotiate partnerships, contracts, agreements. And the difference between those who earn well and those who earn very well often lies precisely in their ability to negotiate effectively. And you have this gift. You're not aggressive in negotiations, but you're not passive either. You know how to listen to what the other person wants. You know how to find common ground. You know how to present your arguments logically and convincingly. And most importantly, you know when to yield and when to stand firm. This emotional intelligence and mental flexibility make you a natural negotiator. In 2025, you will have several opportunities to use this skill to increase your earnings. It could be a salary increase negotiation you've been putting off. It could be setting prices for your services or products. It could be a business partnership where you need to establish favorable terms. And in each of these situations, your persuasive ability will make all the difference. But here's a valuable tip. Don't be afraid to ask for what you're worth. Often you settle for less because you don't want to seem greedy or because you're afraid of missing out. But the truth is, people respect those who value themselves. And when you confidently and justifiably ask for what you deserve, the chances of getting it are much higher than you imagine. The proof of this will appear when you leave a negotiation with a better result than you expected. When you get that discount that seemed impossible. When you convince someone to invest in your project. When you close that deal that will change your financial standing. And all of this will happen because you knew how to use the right words at the right time with the right energy. And there's another important aspect of persuasion. It's not about manipulating or deceiving anyone. It's about presenting your proposal in the best possible way. It's about showing the value of what you offer. It's about creating a win-win situation. And you understand that. You don't want to take advantage of anyone. You want to create fair and sustainable agreements. So start seeing yourself as a negotiator. Start valuing that skill. Study negotiation techniques. Observe how successful people conduct their business conversations. Practice. Because every successful negotiation will increase your confidence and your bank account. And remember, you don't need to be aggressive to be a good negotiator. In fact, your gentler, friendlier approach can be your greatest advantage. People like to do business with those they like. And you have the ability to make people like you. Use that. Not in a calculating way but authentically. Be yourself but with strategic intent. The seventh proof lies in the doors that will open when you begin to use your persuasive abilities more consciously and effectively. You will realize that you can achieve much more than you thought possible. That you can occupy higher positions. That you can charge more for your services. That you can attract better opportunities. All this through your ability to communicate, negotiate, and persuade. Eighth test. High mental energy for multiple projects. The eighth proof that wealth is coming your way in 2025 is directly linked to your incredible mental energy. While other people become mentally exhausted after a few hours of focus work, you can keep your mind active and productive for much longer. And this ability to sustain mental effort will be fundamental for you to take advantage of the opportunities that are arising. You are one of those people who can work on multiple projects simultaneously without sacrificing quality. Your mind not only accepts this multiplicity but needs it to feel stimulated. And in a world where the trend is to have multiple sources of income and multiple work fronts, you are at a clear advantage. But it's important to understand that this mental energy needs to be well directed. There's no point in jumping from one thing to another without completing anything. The secret lies in using your fast processing capacity to advance on several projects in an organized way. A little time for each project with total focus while you're on it, and then move on to the next. In 2025, you'll realize you can embrace more opportunities than you ever imagined. That side project you thought you didn't have time for? You do. That course you want to take to improve your skills? You can fit it in. That business idea that's been sitting in a drawer? You can bring it to life. All at the same time without going crazy because your mind was made for this. The proof of this will become apparent when you look back in a few months and realize everything you've accomplished. You'll be surprised by your own productivity, and that productivity will translate into money because the more you do, the more value you generate, and the more financial return you receive. But there's an important detail. Mental energy isn't infinite. You need to know when to rest. You need to respect the moments when your mind needs a break. Because if you exhaust yourself, all that potential goes down the drain. So find a balance. Use your mental energy intensely, but then recharge. Sleep well. Do things that relax your mind. Make room for creative idleness. And another thing. This high mental energy also allows you to learn faster than most people. You don't need months and months to master a new skill. You pick it up quickly. You understand the main concepts in a short time. And that's a huge competitive advantage. So use 2025 to qualify yourself in various areas that can increase your earning potential. Take that online course. Read those books on business and finance. Watch videos on topics that interest you. Your mind will absorb everything quickly. And each new piece of knowledge is another tool you can use to generate wealth. The eighth proof lies in that feeling that you can do more than you thought possible. In that realization that your mental capacity is greater than you've been using. In that vibrant energy that allows you to keep several balls in the air at the same time without letting any fall. Use it, celebrate it, and reap the financial rewards that this unique characteristic will bring to your life. Ninth test. Natural curiosity leading to lucrative discoveries. The ninth sign that prosperity is manifesting in your life has everything to do with your insatiable curiosity. You are one of those who always wants to know more, understand how things work, discover what lies behind appearances. And this curiosity, which sometimes makes you seem scattered, is actually one of your greatest strengths for attracting wealth. Why? Because the best business opportunities are born from curiosity. Because innovations arise when someone asks why things are one way and not another. Because profitable discoveries happen when someone is willing to explore unknown territories. And you do that naturally. In 2025, your curiosity will lead you to discover market niches that others don't even know exist. It will introduce you to people who work in fascinating and lucrative fields. It will inspire you to create products or services that meet needs you identified precisely because you were curious about a particular subject. Think about how many times you've become interested in something random, started researching it, and suddenly found yourself immersed in a whole universe you didn't know existed. And how many times have you thought, there's an opportunity here, I can do something with this. Well then, now is the time to take those intuitions seriously. Because many of them can turn into real sources of income. Proof of this will appear when you discover an opportunity simply because you were exploring something out of curiosity. It could be a growing market you discovered while reading about a completely different subject. It could be a skill you developed as a hobby that turned out to be in high demand. It could be a connection between two seemingly disparate areas that only you noticed. And there's more. Your curiosity keeps you up to date. You're always aware of what's happening, always learning new things, always expanding your knowledge. And that gives you a broad perspective that is extremely valuable. You can see the big picture. You can identify trends before they become obvious to everyone. So keep being curious. Keep asking questions. Keep exploring varied subjects. Keep learning about things that seemingly have nothing to do with your field. Because you never know where the next great opportunity is. And it's usually hidden somewhere most people don't even think to look. And don't be afraid to seem superficial because you know a little about many things instead of knowing a lot about just one thing. This diversity of knowledge is a richness. It allows you to talk to people from different areas. It allows you to make creative connections. It allows you to move through varied worlds. And in each of these worlds there is profit potential waiting to be explored. The ninth proof lies in the discoveries you will make simply by being open and curious. It lies in the opportunities that will arise because you haven't limited yourself to a single field of interest. It lies in the richness that comes precisely from variety, from multiplicity, from the constant desire to learn and discover. And 2025 will reward your exploratory nature in ways you can't even imagine yet. 10th test. The ability to simplify the complex. The 10th proof that wealth will manifest in your life in 2025 lies in a rare and valuable skill. Your ability to take complex information and make it simple and understandable. You have a gift for translating the complicated into something that anyone can understand. And that's worth its weight in gold in today's market. We live in an increasingly technical and specialized world. People are drowning in information. They can't process everything that comes their way. They feel lost amidst so many technical terms, complicated processes, and abstract concepts. And that's where you come in. The person who can take all that complexity and explain it in a way that makes sense. This applies to so many things. If you work in technology, you could be the person who explains to clients how to use a particular system. If you work in healthcare, you could be the one who translates medical diagnoses into language that patients understand. If you work in finance, you could be the one who teaches people how to organize their money in a clear and practical way. In 2025, this skill will be increasingly in demand. Companies want people who can communicate their ideas in an accessible way. Clients want professionals who make them feel they understand what is being offered. And you can do exactly that. Proof of this will appear when you are chosen to present important projects, when you are asked to train new people, when you are sought out to explain something that no one else has been able to do clearly. And each of these situations can turn into an opportunity for financial gain, because you can create courses teaching what you know in a simple way. You can write explanatory content that people would pay to access. You can offer consulting services where your value lies precisely in making understandable what seemed impossible to understand. You can be the bridge between technical knowledge and the lay public. And it's not about being superficial or downplaying the complexity of things. It's about respecting people's intelligence while removing barriers to understanding. It's about using analogies, examples, and comparisons that illuminate the concept. And you do this naturally. So value this skill. Develop it even further. Study clear communication techniques. Practice explaining complicated concepts in increasingly simple ways. Because the better you get at it, the more indispensable you become. And indispensable people are well-paid people. The 10th proof lies in the recognition you will receive for making things easier. It lies in the appreciation of your talent for simplification. It lies in the doors that will open because you have this rare ability to make everyone understand, no matter how complex the subject. And this, my dear Gemini, will bring much prosperity to your life. 11th test. Contagious optimism attracting opportunities. And we come to the 11th and final proof that wealth is manifesting in your life in 2025. Your natural and contagious optimism. Despite all the challenges you have faced, you maintain a positive outlook on life. You believe that things can work out. You see possibilities where others see obstacles. And this energy attracts opportunities like a magnet. People like to be around those who radiate positivity. Nobody wants to do business with pessimistic and complaining people. Everyone prefers to associate with people who believe in success, who have good energy, who inspire confidence that things will work out. And you have that energy. In 2025, you'll realize that many opportunities come your way simply because people enjoy your company, because they feel your energy uplifts the atmosphere, because they trust that if you're involved, the chances of success are greater. And that's no small thing. That's an invaluable asset that will open doors that technical knowledge alone could never open. But this optimism isn't naivete. You don't turn a blind eye to the problems. You acknowledge them but choose to focus on solutions. You don't deny the difficulties, but decide to face them with hope and creativity. And that attitude makes all the difference. Proof of this will appear when you are chosen to lead difficult projects precisely because your positive energy keeps the team motivated. When you are offered a partnership because they believe your presence brings good luck. When clients choose you because you exude confidence and a positive vibe. All of this will happen and will bring financial returns. And there's more. Optimism makes you persevere where others give up. When something doesn't work out on the first try, you don't despair. You think of new possibilities. You try a different way. And this positive resilience is fundamental for anyone who wants to build true and lasting wealth. So protect your optimism. Don't let negative people steal your energy. Don't drown in bad news and collective pessimism. Keep believing that you can thrive. Keep seeing the glass half full. Keep inspiring others with your confidence in the future. Because the 11th proof lies in the energy you carry that transforms environments. It lies in your ability to make people believe it's possible. It lies in that positive magnetism that attracts not only people, but also opportunities, resources, and favorable synchronicities. And all of this together will create the perfect scenario for the manifestation of the wealth you so richly deserve. So now you know the 11 signs that prosperity is coming your way, dear Gemini. Each of these signs is a confirmation that 2025 is truly your year of financial abundance. But remember, knowing these signs isn't enough. You need to act. You need to use your gifts. You need to be alert to opportunities. You need to believe in yourself. You've been through a lot to get here. You've learned, grown, and developed incredible skills. And now it's time to reap the rewards of it all. The universe is conspiring in your favor. The stars are aligned. The energies are flowing in the right direction. All you need to do is keep your mind open, your heart confident, and your hands working. It doesn't matter if you're 50, 60, 70, or older. Prosperity has no age limit. Wealth knows no time limits. If you're alive, if you're here watching this video, it's because there's still so much you can accomplish. And 2025 is offering you this golden opportunity. So go ahead. Use your brilliant communication skills. Embrace your versatility. Cultivate your connections. Trust your creativity. Adapt to change. Follow your intuition. Negotiate with confidence. Channel your mental energy. Maintain your curiosity. Simplify the complex. And spread your optimism wherever you go. Do this and watch as wealth begins to manifest in your life in surprising ways. It may not all happen at once. It may start small, but every step counts. Every small victory is confirmation that you're on the right track. And before you know it, you'll look back and see how far you've come. And if you enjoyed these messages, if they truly touched your heart and made sense to you, don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Turn on notifications to receive alerts for future videos. Leave a comment telling us where you're watching from and sharing how these trials are manifesting in your life. And if these words truly made a difference to you, if you feel this content helps you see your path more clearly, consider becoming a subscriber to the channel. Your support is essential so that I can continue bringing these messages of hope, inspiration, and spiritual knowledge that can transform lives. Now tell me, which of these 11 tests did you identify with the most? Which one are you already seeing happen in your life? And which one will you start paying more attention to from now on? Think about it. Reflect on these questions. And let the answers guide your next actions. Always remember, you are not alone on this journey. The universe is on your side. The energies are working in your favor. And the wealth you seek is already on its way. Believe in this with all your heart. And together, let's make 2025 the most prosperous and abundant year of your life.